You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Breaking Bad. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Breaking Bad news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Breaking Bad.
All right, well, welcome everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Breaking Bad, Episode 6, Season 4, Cornered. And I'm your host, John Comerford. I'm joined in the studio by Benjamin Bottomley. Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Okay. All right, and let's see, Maria Menounos, our lovely producer, as well as Kevin Undergaro are not with us today because they are enjoying the weekend out at the Kardashian wedding, so we wish them well. They've been tweeting about it, so I know they're having a good time, and we certainly want to give our best wishes to the happy couple. We hope they're enjoying the weekend as well. I'm sure they are. So, fabulous show. I couldn't believe how much was happening. I was writing like crazy because I wanted to get all the notes in. I've never written so many notes in my life. I was just, every scene was like, whoa, so much going on. We saw the continued descent of Walter. We saw the rise of Jesse, a continued rise of Jesse, and the clarity of Skyler in this episode, which I think is the three main points I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. Now, you, Benjamin, you've seen all seasons, correct?
Mostly.
Okay, so but you've been keeping up on this season.
There's a small gap in season 3, but okay. I know what happened.
So, but you've been current on this season, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Overall impressions of this episode, what were you thinking?
It was pretty shocking. I don't know. There's so much that happened. In one episode. So
let's just get right into it. I mean, it starts off with a repeat of the episode where we saw Mike sitting in wait in the refrigeration truck. And so we got to see a repeat of that. Although we didn't know these individuals in the refrigerator truck, but
and it didn't end quite the same way.
Didn't exactly. So you're thinking it's going to go the same way because they're used to this now because it happened with Mike. This one, no, not going to end the same way. They're up against a different breed. Exactly, and they're up against a different breed because these guys did not want to mess around. So, you know, the one thing that bugged me about this is these guys who've got their M16s or whatever semi-automatics in their possession, and all of a sudden the carbon monoxide are being gassed. I'm going, shoot the guns, guys. Why are you wasting time to break everything down? You shoot the damn guns.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but on the line we have a very special guest. We have Michael August, who's going to join in on your conversation for Breaking Bad.
Terrific, Michael.
Hello, Michael August.
Michael, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Great. So, Michael, you've seen the episode, obviously. What were your overall impressions?
To me, it seems like Walt Jr is going to get the best of him.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's what we continue to see is Hubris gets him almost every time. He just can't help himself. I mean, specifically, I think it was last week episode when they had the conversation with Skyler. She said, from this point on, no lies. No secrets, and one of the first things, first scene, she's asking him specific questions. You know, did you know this, Gale? Did you know this? What is he? The first thing he just lies like crazy.
Did people you work with kill him?
Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah.
I love the scene near the beginning of the episode where Walt was talking to Skyler in the bedroom.
Yes.
And see how he completely snapped and completely morphed into a monster there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene because then you got to see. That's what I meant about his descent into hell. He's continually, he keeps making the wrong decision. Yeah, because he can't go back. He has to go forward. And despite Ed's...
Ed Bowling.
Ed Bowling's...
I hope you saw this episode,
yeah, well,
Ed.
You know, this may put that theory to rest, but I think this is the one where we really get to see that he's not... Walter is not interested in leaving. He wants to go forward.
Yes.
So
another great scene was the car wash.
Yes.
In the subtext of what's that guy's name again?
I don't know, the car wash owner. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
Eyebrows.
whatever it is, but yeah.
Eyebrows.
And he said he was the subject. He was talking how hard it is to be a boss.
Yep.
You have to be tough.
Yep. Yes, and then we got to see that played
later.
Yes, exactly. Played.
As the boss,
you're going to be the kind of boss.
kicking back.
You're going to kick back and have your feet up, and then of course later on in the show we get to see he is the boss, and he is kicking back, having a cup of coffee. He's
Waves
exactly
at
the kind of boss. Yeah. You think you can be tough, but I like that scene too because the whole thing, you know, with the eyebrow guy telling him, you know, you have to be tough as a boss. You have to sometimes tell a cashier to wipe the cars even if they don't want to, which is exactly what he did to Walter. So he's calling that back, and of course Walt thinks, yeah, I can be tough. But I liked the line from the car wash owner who said, "And if you can't be tough, hey, you can always call your wife."
Yep. I love when Walt just takes his prized dollar. It's like,
yes,
as is.
As is.
And
I mean, that was
goes
just, that's
and
that
buys
little
a Coke with
I'll show you how tough I can be. I'm going to take your dollar. That's it.
Shove it into a machine.
Was blue too.
Yeah, it was blue.
Was blue.
Yeah, they had
like symbolic of the crystal meth.
All right, nicely. There you go. Nice connection there. Yeah, absolutely. So that was a good thing. And I love the way that, again, Walt not thinking ahead. This, you know, in so much of this show, even in this episode, he is thinking ahead. He realized that the robbery that Jesse thwarted was fake, and that Gus probably put it together. And he even used the term, he's driving a wedge between us, which is what we talked about a couple weeks ago. So he's even using that term.
It really is genius versus genius.
Yes, but what he didn't realize is by bringing these ladies into the lab, he's putting them at risk.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he learn anything from the box cutter scene?
Into their meth super lab. Good job, Walt.
I mean, Gus killed the guy, one of his best employees.
Yeah, one of his best workers.
Because the guy showed up at a crime scene.
Right in front of them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think anything will happen to them.
Yeah.
That's part of Walt's hubris I was talking about.
Yeah.
He thinks he thinks he could do anything he wants.
Yes, and I also think it's just completely short-sighted. I mean, the immediate thing I don't want to have to do with this, and Jesse's gone. So what do? I just pick these people in front of me. It's just really short-sighted. Yeah.
What do you make of Skyler throwing the quarter and it landed in Colorado twice?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, how symbolic. I mean, that's terrific. I love that. You know, go to the four corners. At first, I was going, why are they taking her to four corners?
Yeah, I figured that she was picking what she was going to do with herself.
Yeah, I figured it was obviously she's at the crossroads, so I got that part of it, but I was just wondering why. I mean, it's interesting that they picked that part. Great shot, by the way. I love that Four Corners monument, that down shot of looking at everything. That was terrific. And then she, of course, flips the coin, and of course doesn't like the way it lands, so she has to flip it again.
And then changes that result.
And even changed that result to New Mexico for whatever reason. So I guess New Mexico is where she's headed, or in some fashion, New Mexico is going to play some sort of role in the next few episodes. Or
they're in New Mexico.
It seems like Walt is moving up the hierarchy.
Oh, is that right?
It seems like
I
Walt
thought it was
is
Arizona.
moving down the hierarchy while Jesse's moving up.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what's going on. I think that's what...
even at the end, Jesse got FaceTime with the chicken man.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not only FaceTime, but he got his answer, his big answer, or because he asked the question, which a lot of us have been asking, why Jesse? But that's the one Jesse always wants to know is why me? And Gus, of course, puts it right in there because I like to think I see people, see something in people, which is what Jesse needs to hear, is what he's always needed to hear, that he's not such a loser, that he does have something going on. He's never heard that in his entire life. So now he's got a guy, ostensibly a father figure, telling him, I see something in you. So he's really, Gus is really turning the screws, really making this guy become part of it in some way, really being invested in the future of what's going on, which I think is wonderful. Do you think
there's any chance that Jesse's going to be in contact with those cartel guys who keep knocking off the trucks?
Well, I imagine that at some point that all is going to come to a head. I mean, we're going to get deeper into this, and of course, it's going to get bloody. So I imagine, and let's just face it, the way they're priming Jesse is that now he's not just the guy that's sitting in the back. He's just not just loser. I mean, here he is bravely going up to this meth house, with no weapon, and trying to show his courage and everything like that, not getting anywhere, and then going back.
Yeah.
Because wait a minute, and using his smarts too, where he doesn't usually. This show hasn't really shown his smarts as much because I don't think he's really felt that he's smart, but here he does.
Yeah.
He uses his brain, which again is really more in the territory of Walt. So we're seeing those trajectories changing. Walt's going down, making really stupid decisions, and Jesse making smarter decisions. So interesting how they're doing that. So what do you think about? Go ahead.
No Hank or Marie this week.
No Hank or Marie. Yeah. Sometimes they do that. So and I didn't miss it at all because I was really intrigued by the storylines they were telling.
Yeah, I wasn't at all looking for them, but I didn't even realize they weren't there until after the episode.
Exactly. And, okay, so let me quickly talk about the Skyler thing. Boy, but did she hit everything on the nail?
Yeah.
Man, when that first scene when they're in the bedroom and she puts it all together, you just see the image of Gale on the computer screen. She's listening to the answering machine message, and she puts it all together. I thought that was very impressive that she had the foresight, and it was just amazing. And then calls him on it.
Yeah.
Where before, in a couple of weeks, prior, she's been in denial about how much danger there is, all this other stuff, and not wanting to know everything. And now she just puts it all together.
Yeah, she just throws it all at him.
Yeah. And quite. And him and his denials are falling hollow, if you ask me. So.
Hey guys, we actually have another caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm Patricia. I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Patricia?
I'm good.
All right. And did you see the episode tonight? Are you calling about this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun, but I have this I'm afraid they're gonna kill Jesse at the end of the season.
You think they'll kill him at the end of this season?
I don't know. I feel like that's where it's going, and I'm scared of it.
Yeah, because you don't want Jesse to die, do you?
I love him.
Yeah.
Walter has gotten kind of unlikable.
Walter's getting unlikable?
I root for him and all, but Jesse's my favorite,
And why is that? Why do you like Jesse so much? I mean, I certainly agree with you, but why do you like him?
Because I can feel what he goes through is more, I don't know, it's more relatable.
Yeah.
Walter has a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And it's a bit selfish sometimes.
Yep.
And he's a genius, and it's very interesting to watch him.
Yeah.
But Jesse's I just want to hug him.
You just want to hug him.
I think
it's true, though.
But Jesse just kind of seems more human most of the time.
He does. He seems more human. He's more relatable, as Patricia was telling us.
Almost.
Yeah, and don't you think there's still, even though he's jaded and he's been through all this drug and crime and all that, he still has an innocence about him that you hope can be redeemed. Yeah, that's what you think too, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that's what you're responding to, is that there's still a part of him.
I'm really, really afraid they're going to kill him or something.
Yeah, I know, and it would be terrible.
That'll be awful.
It would be terrible, but...
Well, they got one more season, right?
It's so dark.
It's what? It's too dark?
I'm sorry?
You said it's too dark to have him die?
Yeah, I mean, the show is really dark sometimes.
Yes.
They really aren't afraid of killing characters off.
But they have one more season, and they just announced they're going to have 16 episodes. So the likelihood is that he's so good and everybody loves him, just like you do. I don't think they're going to kill him off just yet. I'm not sure he'll survive the series, but I think he'll survive this season. What do you think, Patricia?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I think, I don't know. When Jesse finds out that Walter basically let his girlfriend die, I think it's going to lead to some big conflict, and Walter won't have any option but to kill him because...
Oh, so you think Walter's going to kill him?
Jesse will be so pissed off. I don't know how he'll react.
Yeah.
That would be
that
great.
Could be.
That could be.
Has to do it.
That's happening.
Yeah, well, we've actually talked about that here too. I agree with you. I think that's certainly. I think that secret's going to come out, and I certainly think it's possible that Walter's going to end up if he does die.
That would be amazing to watch.
It would be amazing to watch. I know everybody says the same thing. It would be horrible, but amazing to watch.
So amazing.
So that's pretty much the show.
Horrible but amazing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the show. So what do you think of Skyler coming in and being, she's becoming more and more a part of this, and now when she found out this week.
I love it. I think it's cool. It's
you like
not
that?
just the boys.
Yes.
Anymore.
Good. Right. So what do you think?
She's kicking ass.
She's kicking ass. Yes, she is. So you like that? So you'd like to see?
She's surprising me. Yeah.
She's surprising you. You'd like to see her kick a little more ass. You think?
I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun. So what do you think about Hank then? Do you think, they showed Hank in the previews. Do you think he's going to discover that Walter's in on it? And what's up?
I don't think just yet.
Yeah, I think it's too
know.
early. If they've got one more season, I don't think
it'll happen though.
Yet.
I'm sure.
You think it'll happen? Yeah, I do too. Absolutely. So and then let me ask you a few more things. If you have a moment, do you still have time, Patricia?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing with Mike and Jesse, you know, they're now becoming buddies. The first time we see him in the diner, you know, Mike's eating, but Jesse's not because he's having problems with his drugs or whatever. And the next time we see him in the diner, they're like old buds. They're both eating. Everything's fine and cool. So what do you think they're grooming Jesse for?
I think they're really, I don't know. They have a plan. I don't know quite what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Jesse, he might be in trouble. He might be on the right path
Right.
with those guys, but it's not quite right for him to be trusting them.
No, it's
and I'm
not.
sure he doesn't.
And yeah, but he, you know, but he doesn't have anything else. I mean, that's
true.
The argument they had with Walt was a great little scene there because, you know, again, Walt figures it all out, and Jesse still doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to know that it's fake.
But I also think this will lead to when Jesse finds out what Walt did to his girlfriend. It's going to be all the worse because now they're getting apart from each other.
Yep. It's going to be bad news. This is not going to be
They're
pretty.
already growing apart, and if Jesse finds that out, I'm sure that'll just drive him apart.
And you know what I think is going to happen? I think that you know, Gus is going to figure it out, and Gus is probably going to be the one to let Jesse know.
Wow, that would be crazy.
That would be nice. You got to like that. So
it's exciting.
So what, I mean, and what can we say about Walt when he goes off and buys the car for his kid? I mean, how stupid
that was
that?
A bad move.
A really bad move. I mean, it's certainly understandable. The way he rationalized it, this is classic Walt.
Makes sense.
I just want to do something good for my kid. All I ever do is protect his...
be cool.
Exactly. He just wants to be liked.
Junior just manipulated him.
Yeah.
If you're gonna buy me off, buy me off.
What a great line. You're going to buy me off. And I love the scene at the end between he and Skyler. And again, they bookend the scene, bookend the show, because in the beginning, she lays it down on the line. Everything she figures out. And at the end, she's got it all figured out too. So, yeah. Because I love the line where she says, great, yes, he's going to hate me, his bitch mom, like he always does, and you get to be the loving father. And,
exactly.
And what can we think of a better way to end this particular episode than the line that she uttered?
Yes.
Oh, you can?
I know.
Someone has to protect this family from the man who's protecting this family.
Exactly.
Right.
And now we see the wedge, not only between Jesse and Walt, but now the one between Walter and Skyler. Just when we think
Walter kind of gets messed up.
He's kind of got no one left except his son, really.
That's right. He's isolating himself. And last week we thought they were getting together, right? You know, they finally had a time together, and boom.
It seemed that way.
Just when they thought it was going to happen, gets ripped right out of him. Not good at all. What's the other line that we wrote down there? I can't remember.
Yeah.
What?
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. I appreciate you calling in.
English isn't perfect. Yes. I'm not originally from the United States.
What's that? I didn't hear that last part.
Sorry about the English not being very perfect.
It was perfect. We understood everything you said.
Got every single word.
Thanks. Love the show. Love watching you guys.
All right. Love to hear from you again. Glad you're watching the show. Please keep watching and call in again sometime if you have to. Okay. See you later.
Thanks.
Thank you for calling, Patricia. That's nice. Good call. All right. So where were we? We were talking about, we've been all...
Well, we kind of jumped all over the place.
We did, because you had a nice call come in.
Where do you want to go?
At this point, I don't know if there isn't anything we've covered.
I noticed you noticed in the shower.
Yeah.
It looked like a scar.
Yeah.
Around
Did anybody else notice that? If anybody's listening out there, give us a call in. Because when Walt was in the shower...
I mean, that's some pretty good...
It was...
detail.
It seemed like a scar, because he did have...
Oh, right. Walt had an operation. We need to put a scar on him.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that was what was going on, if that's what we saw. So if anybody noticed that or can speak to that, give us a call and let us know what that was. But I think that's what it was going on. So anyway, I liked the fact that they were detailing that. Keeps the storyline going and stuff like that.
Yes.
So
it was very good.
So, here's the bigger thing we learned in the bigger story. So obviously the drugs in the beginning that were stolen from the refrigerated car found a place somewhere else, and we got to see the message that was being sent to Gus. Interesting.
I didn't see the message.
The message was on when they went into the meth-head house and they got the drugs. Well, on the top, the lid of the chicken fry, whatever it was, there was a message written in Spanish.
Oh.
And basically the message is, "Are you ready to talk?"
Okay.
So that's the message that Mike brought to Gus when they were in the diner, and they were having Gus and Mike were sitting at the diner together. Yeah. He said they were sending a message literally
Literally,
and
yeah.
said,
I saw the. I just didn't know.
And he said, if I translated it right, it means, "Are you ready to listen?" So now here's where we finally get to learn what's up. There's somebody's after Gus and his business. They want him to talk, and they're basically saying, if you're not going to talk, we're going to come after you with everything we got. Basically is what they're saying.
No big deal.
So not only does Gus have to deal with Walt thing, he's got the bigger issue, which is the cartels or whomever that is. So that's going to come into fray.
And
so
that doesn't seem to be his priority.
No.
Let's keep this war cold.
Let's keep the war cold. But that's what he does. He's a cool customer. He keeps down, try to keep things. I'm going to deal with focus here. I'm going to deal with that. Then I'll deal with this. So, but he says, let's set up a meeting. So hopefully we'll get to see what the meeting is, and we'll get to find out who these people are, or who this other entity is that's bringing some pressure to bear. That'll be interesting to find out as well. Well, geez, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
We got anything else we need to talk about?
We took so many notes and then went through them like that.
We hit every storyline. Man, I was just
talk about the great camera shot of the camera on the shovel.
Yeah,
camera on the shovel.
That was a good shot.
The up shot there, yeah.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
I think you might have been looking down, but you see the camera on the shovel on Jesse's back, and you see him walk over to the house from the shovel's perspective, and then he swings it over and starts digging, and you get that whole shot.
Yeah, they always have some really interesting. I mean, they never fail to intrigue me with the shots they pick. So have you found that to be the case, Michael?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys, is it just me, or do you guys think that Jesse is actually more valuable than Walt right now?
Well, that's the way they're trying. Gus is trying to make it look. He's trying to show. I think he's trying to show Walter that, you know what, you're not the only guy here, and you're not even the most important guy, and I'm going to make him look like I need him more. I think he's doing that to get in Walt's head.
Yeah, but I don't.
Because let's face it, Jesse can't make. The drug.
Gus
the
is
blue
definitely
ice.
trying to make Walt think that, but I don't think Jesse is at all as valuable as Walt.
And he wants Jesse to think that too, because he wants Jesse to be more invested and to keep that wedge between them. But there's no way that Jesse is more important to his business, because without Walt, he can't make the blue ice.
Yeah, he can't make their product.
So, and that's the thing that runs everything. So, I think he's doing that for appearances, if you ask me.
Probably.
What else did you come up with, Michael? Anything else you wanted to discuss?
Well, I mean, last week they had the photograph description that matched Tyrus.
What was that?
Remember last week they showed Hank had the photograph of the description? That was the face description of Tyrus.
Oh, you mean, are you talking about the suspect who was involved in the Gale murder?
Right.
Okay, I believe it's my interpretation that picture wasn't Tyrus. That was Victor, the guy that Tyrus replaced. The one that's the reason why they killed him with the box cutter, because he showed up at the murder scene, the crime scene. That's how they got the picture of him, and that's why they killed him.
So that wasn't Tyrus.
No, I think that was Victor.
That was Victor, probably.
That's my guess. That was my interpretation of that. That's the whole reason why Gus killed him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I brought that up.
Yeah. So,
I was thinking that was Tyrus.
Yeah. And that's why Tyrus is now here, because Victor is no more. Well, look, I think we've covered everything. It's been a wonderful show for us anyway. Thank you for calling in, Patricia, and Michael as well. I appreciate you being on the phone with us. Look, Jesse, why don't you take us to commercials so we can get on to our predictions and our news
and gossip.
Shall we go now?
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out that wig.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz
on. Okay, we always do this, but I'm going to do it really quickly because there are two things I forgot to mention as we were doing this. I thought it was so fascinating the way Walt laid into it to Skyler about, I am the knock at the door. That I thought was just terrific, the way they did that scene, man. And then he like backed off it the rest of the episode. I was like, no, that's where you want to be. You're gonna have to be. But anyway, I thought that was fabulous. And the other thing that drove me crazy is Skyler puts one kid in the car, takes off, and leaves the other kid at home.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Anyway, nothing more I need to say about it. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, I loved the way he said, "I am the knock at the door." So, and yeah, that's what he wants to be. That's what he's going to be. So.
I think that was kind of, you were talking about how Skyler doesn't realize just how great Walt is. And that was, I felt him kind of trying to prove that some more.
And you see all the anger that he's been carrying, all that, what do you call it? Jealousy of how everybody else's careers have done this and all the stuff he could have been. You can see all that coming through in that scene right there. Is that I am the knock at the door. I am the and he's got all that anger and hostility just pent up inside. Okay, we got to get to predictions so we can
news and gossip.
News and gossip first. I beg your pardon. News and gossip first.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so again, I mean, we shouldn't even call this Breaking Bad news and gossip. It should just be called Bryan Cranston news and gossip.
Yeah.
But Bryan Cranston has landed a guest spot in the new season of The Simpsons. Entertainment Weekly confirms that Cranston will voice Hollywood's super spy Stradivarius Kane in the episode The Spy Who Learned Me. Cranston joins several notable guest stars for the upcoming 23rd season of the long-running animation, including Glee star Jane Lynch and comedian Joan Rivers.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Interesting.
All right.
Sure, what else we got?
Watch it.
A little semi-spoiler, maybe.
Uh-oh.
In a recent interview, Giancarlo Esposito gets pretty animated talking about how long Walter White has to live.
Ooh.
Saying, quote, "I think he has a little bit longer, but not much."
Oh, okay. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah. So Esposito also gives his prediction on how the show, which just announced will have 16 more episodes after this current season, will end. Saying it's not going to end in a sweet and loving way. No. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. It's not going to be a cookie-cutter ending. It has to come crashing down at some point.
Yeah, well, and as we've discussed many times, Vince has said that this show is not going to end pretty.
It's not going to be pretty.
And we were just discussing before we went up here today how that's a good thing and a bad thing, because I think it's a good thing because people will go, "Oh my God, I can't wait!"
I got to see this ending.
I have to see it, but then it's so much hype involved, and you really got,
you have
like
to
The Sopranos had so
of
much hype, and then it was such a nebulous ending. Some people loved it, some people hated it, so this will be interesting to see how he wraps everything up. Of course, thank God it's a whole nother year away or whatever.
And I'm sure it's going to be controversial.
Oh yeah, but then again, why not?
Isn't?
Exactly.
So if they killed off Walt, do you think they would also kill Jesse off as well?
Well,
maybe not. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I think the way I see okay, now we're going to predictions because we're talking predictions now. So here we go.
That's your AfterBuzz TV Breaking Bad news and gossip for the week of August 21st, 2011.
Thank you very much.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So what we saw in the trailer that Hank's getting back into the scene because he starts asking questions and starts having some information. I don't know what the heck was going on with Walter. There's guns. I don't know what's going on in that regard. But the overall thing that we've been talking about is how is this going to end, which is so funny to me because we have, another 6 episodes in this season plus a whole 16 in next. I don't know how many are left in this season. Anyway, the point of it is...
Probably 7 or so. Somewhere around there.
Exactly. So we're still wondering...
Yeah, we're thinking that far ahead.
Exactly, it's so compelling. We want it to the end already.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't want it to happen, but we're still wondering. But the way I see it now, the trajectory of Walter is that he's going to keep going down, becoming a really bad guy. And Patricia was even saying she doesn't like him as much because he's becoming more of a bad guy, even though she roots for him. And I think that's going to happen. I think Walt is the guy that's going to get killed at the end of this.
I think I don't know, you probably haven't seen this in a while, but there's an episode in season 2 called Negro y Azul, and they started off with that song by that mariachi band.
Okay.
One of the lyrics is, "That homie is dead, but he just don't know it yet."
I didn't see that. I mean, I saw the episode, but I don't remember that. Wow, that's great. That homie's dead, he just don't know it yet. So I don't know. And Kevin, I think, has said a number of times that Walt's going to survive this, and he's going to be the only one that comes out of it. I don't know. I don't know. He may hang on to that prediction. I'm not sure. So I think go ahead, Michael. What's that?
I think Walt will kill Heisenberg and get out of the criminal game.
So you think he's going to turn Heisenberg and then still get out?
I think he will. I don't think they're going to kill Walt.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean,
if he becomes the Heisenberg, isn't that specifically being the criminal? And
I think he's gonna. I think he's just gonna. I think he's gonna kill Gus at the end, or Mike's gonna kill Gus, and I think that he's gonna throw the hat on Gus's body, and that's gonna be it.
Interesting. Very cinematic of you. But okay, now let's just say
that seems too not.
Sounds
terrible enough.
You think? Oh, it's not terrible enough. So you think it's going to be
too
a bigger
cookie cutter for me.
All right, but let me ask you this, Michael. So let's say if he does this, if he becomes the Heisenberg, he throws the hat on Gus after he kills him. What do you think he does then if he's not going to be the criminal? If he's not going to be the drug czar or the drug kingpin? He's not going to go back to teaching. What's that?
Maybe he'll run the car wash.
So you think after being through this, you think he can pull it all back and kind of come back to a more sedentary life? You think that's a possibility for him?
Possibly.
Okay. All right. So Benjamin, you got any ideas of what the overall arcing explosion is going to be at the end?
Don't think it'll be good.
No,
I don't think Walt is either coming back or coming out alive.
Yeah. My guess is I don't think anything good is going to come out of it for him.
No. I think it's just going to be pretty catastrophic for everybody, probably.
Wow.
Well, Mike this week said he doesn't like unpredictable.
Right, exactly. So you're thinking
Walt's pretty much a loose cannon at this point.
You think Walt is a loose cannon? Well, yeah, clearly he's been, and again, we've talked about it a number of times on the podcast is that, Jesse usually makes the impulsive decisions and does the rash thing. And now we see him making more calculated decisions, smarter decisions, and now we also see Walt making really stupid and rash decisions. So we see those changing. So he is becoming the loose guy. I mean, what do they call that?
Loose cannon.
Loose cannon. Thank you. The wing nut. So who knows what that'll be. So one thing for sure with the Skyler thing is that it's going to continually be. I mean, they're going to be at such odds. I don't know how they're going to work together. Because, not only do you have the whole, you're putting my family at jeopardy, you got the whole husband-wife problem going on, and then it's...
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's like so many layers to get through just to have a decent day.
Yeah.
So, I do not feel happy for Walt. This is not going to be an easy march. All right, any other predictions? Jesse, you got anything?
I ain't got nothing.
Okay, well spoken. Michael, anything from you? Anything from Chicago? Last words from Chicago. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Michael. We appreciate you calling in and being part of the show today. Maybe we'll hear from you next week as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the whole podcast. This has been episode 6, season 4 of Breaking Bad Corner.
And
we're
from producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buy Maria Menounos' book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
There you go.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.